December 18th, 2022, Qatar. You walk toward the penalty spot with calm but excited steps. 88,966 people hold their breath for this penalty. You place the ball on the spot. You lift your head, look up at the sky and whisper, "Today the dream I've always wanted might come true." But it took you 35 years of hard road to get here. 4 lost finals, a needle piercing your leg every single night, and a contract written on a napkin. Before I tell you how you got here, if you truly love Messi, show it with a heart in the comments. Rosario, 1987. On June 24th, 1987, in Rosario, Argentina's industrial city, a baby is born to write his name in golden letters in football. Lionel Messi. That's you. Your father Jorge works as a laborer in a steel factory. Your mother Celia does cleaning work. Your family has 6 people. You live in a small house with gray iron bars on the windows. You love the ball so much that when you started crying, they'd put a ball in front of you and you'd stop crying immediately. On your 2nd birthday, your grandmother Rosa gives you a red plastic ball and you start playing with it. At 3, your cousin gives you another ball. You love the ball so much that you sleep and wake with it morning and night. The first night you sleep with your ball, the next night you don't let it leave your side, and every night after that the same. You're 4 years old. You play football so beautifully on the street that everyone watches you in admiration. Seeing this, your grandmother Rosa takes you by the hand to Grandoli Club. When the coach sees you, he says, "The boy is too small. He won't make a footballer." Your grandmother steps closer to him and says, "Just put him on the field first. If you don't like how he plays, I'll take him back." You step onto the pitch, and from that moment on, you never step off it again. Your grandmother becomes one of your biggest supporters. She truly believed you would become a great footballer. But your body doesn't agree with you. When you turn 11, they measure your height. Unfortunately, you haven't grown a single centimeter in 2 years. After many tests, doctors, and waiting, you're diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency. If you don't get treatment, your height will stay at 1.40 meters. The monthly cost of treatment, $900. Your father's salary, $600. For the first 2 years, insurance covers the treatment. Then Argentina's economy collapses. The insurance stops. Your family goes to Newell's Old Boys. They promise to help, but they don't keep their promise. River Plate wants you, but your old club blocks your move. Every door closes in your face. Neither your father nor Newell's Old Boys can afford your treatment, so with great difficulty you have to stick a needle into your own leg every night. One night your left leg, the next night your right leg. For 3 years, every single night you do this. You don't complain, because complaining was a luxury for those who could afford it. 2000, December, a napkin. Barcelona's sporting director, Carles Rexach, comes to Argentina to watch you. He watches you for 2 minutes. As soon as he sees your magical left foot, he's captivated. He rushes to convince the club to cover your treatment costs. Right there in a restaurant on a napkin, he writes a contract on behalf of the club and signs it. After this contract is signed, you and your father move to Spain at age 13, and so you step into La Masia, Barcelona's legendary youth academy. But that day meant only one thing to you: your treatment would continue. That napkin contract was auctioned in London in 2024 and sold for an unbelievable price, £762,400. La Masia, loneliness. You live with your father in a small apartment in Barcelona. Your mother and siblings stayed behind in Argentina. After arriving in Barcelona, you miss everyone. You especially miss your school in Rosario. The other boys in the dormitory are surprised at first because you're so quiet and withdrawn. You're 13, a new country. You don't know the language. At night, you cry secretly in your bed so your father won't hear. You go to training at La Masia. In your first session, the coaches can't believe how you play. This tiny kid is literally dominating boys 3 or 4 years older than him. From 2001 to 2003, you play in many matches, enchanting everyone with your beautiful goals and performances. Coach Frank Rijkaard comes to watch you at the end of 2003. As soon as he sees you play, he says, "This kid should train with the first team." 2004, the locker room. You're 16, you're sitting in the locker room. Across from you sits Ronaldinho, the best player in the world. You go to your first training session with them. When Ronaldinho sees you play, he tells his teammates, "This kid will be better than me." And so Ronaldinho takes you under his wing and becomes like an older brother to you. Ronaldinho sits you next to him and says, "Play freely." May 1st, 2005, match against Albacete, 88th minute. You enter the pitch. Ronaldinho plays a perfect pass behind the defense. The ball comes to your feet, and with a delicate touch over the goalkeeper, you send it into the net. After scoring, Ronaldinho lifts you onto his back. Camp Nou is literally screaming. 17 years, 10 months. You write your name as one of the youngest goal scorers in Barcelona's history. Guardiola arrives. Everything changes. 2008. Pep Guardiola's first move is to send Ronaldinho and Deco away. He also changes your position and gives you the number 10 jersey. After you move from the right wing to the false 9 role, you transform into an unstoppable goal machine. During this period, Barcelona dominates the football world with its tiki-taka philosophy, and together with Xavi and Iniesta, you form a perfect partnership. And just like that, the geometry of football literally changes. May 2nd, 2009, El Clásico, Bernabeu. You're at Real Madrid Stadium. Xavi passes to you. You play a 1-2 with him, get the ball back, and with your left foot from the edge of the box, you place it into the net. 2-0, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. The match ends 6-2. The Bernabeu falls silent. 3 weeks later, the Champions League final in Rome. You face Manchester United. The 75th minute passes. Xavi crosses from the right wing. The ball goes over the defenders. You jump. With your height of 1.70 meters, you head the ball into the net. Rio Ferdinand can do nothing but watch. The match ends 2-0. The Champions League trophy is yours. Xavi describes training sessions with you in interviews. Sometimes I would laugh during training because the things he did with the ball were almost impossible, he says. From 2009 to 2012, you add the Ballon d'Or to your collection 4 years in a row. No one had ever done that consecutively before. In 2012, you score 91 goals, shattering Gerd Muller's 40-year record. But amidst all these victories, there's a wound that won't heal. 4 finals, 4 defeats. 2014 World Cup final. Maracana, Rio de Janeiro, Argentina versus Germany, 113th minute. Mario Götze controls the ball with his chest and places it into the net. 1-0. You lose. You're named the best player of the final and receive the Golden Ball, but you can only look at the trophy. 2015 Copa America final. You play against Chile. Chile wins on penalties. You lose another final. 2016 Copa America final. You play against Chile again. Penalties again. You lose again. You cry in front of the cameras. This is for the best for everyone. For me, the national team is over. After your decision to leave, 50,000 people gather around the obelisk in Buenos Aires. They hold up banners that say, "Don't go, Leo." Even the president gets involved because of this. 6 weeks later, you return to the pitch because you can't abandon your team because you still have other things to achieve. 2021, the color of goodbye. Barcelona is drowning in debt, over €1 billion. You agree to cut 50% of your salary to stay, but La Liga doesn't allow it. So you step onto the podium to say goodbye to Barcelona, and you start to cry. I didn't know it would be this hard. I spent 21 years here. I never imagined I would leave. 21 years, 672 goals. The story that began with a napkin now ends with tears. You go to Paris Saint-Germain. You spend 2 years there. But Paris wasn't your city. You couldn't feel happy there. 2022, Qatar, the last chance. You're 35 years old. This is your last World Cup. You have to win this trophy. First match, you play against Saudi Arabia. You lose. The world now says it's over, but you're the team's leader. You say to the camera, trust this team. After the Netherlands match, everyone is shocked. That quiet, shy boy shouts at Wout Weghorst, "What are you looking at, stupid? Get out of here." Argentina had never seen this side of you before. You're in the final. Your opponent is France. Mbappe stands across from you. 36th minute. You earn a penalty in their half. You take the penalty and score. You go up 1-0. 45 plus third minute, you play a perfect pass to Di Maria. The score becomes 2-0. Everyone thinks the match is over, that Argentina are champions. 97th minute, Mbappe scores against you. 98th minute, Mbappe again. He scores his second goal, and in 97 seconds, he's leveled everything. You go to extra time. 108th minute, you shoot. The goalkeeper saves it, but the ball comes back to you. You shoot again. The lead is 3-2, 118th minute. Mbappe equalizes again. Extra time ends. You go to penalties, and you're back at that moment. Lusail Stadium, 88,966 people watch you with excitement. This time you're carrying the weight of 4 final defeats. The weight of the needles piercing your leg for 3 years. The weight of being torn away from Barcelona after 21 years. You place the ball on the spot. You take a deep breath. You look up at the sky. Maybe today is that day. You place the ball into the corner. The place goes ice cold. Coman and Chouameni miss their penalties. Montiel scores the final penalty. Argentina are world champions. And in that moment, your mother, without anyone noticing, enters the pitch, runs up behind you and hugs you. When they ask you what you felt when you lifted the trophy, you say, "The same thing I felt when my children were born." 2026 World Cup. The 2026 World Cup is hosted this time by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. You're already playing actively for Miami in the United States, so in America you can feel at home and comfortable in this tournament. This World Cup could be your last dance. To bring a second trophy home with the Argentine team, you need to play until the very end at the World Cup in America. So tell me, would you keep sticking a needle in your leg every night for football, or would you quit? Write your answers in the comments. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss new stories.